Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of RaceDayTV, the live show. I got my pals over here, Mr. Mike Parks,
Pals.
Uncle Mike.
Mike, and John Espinette. What's going on?
How are we?
I feel like I haven't seen you guys in like forever.
I know. Long time no see.
Oh, Daytona was fun. I'm going to get this right off the bat, guys. We have a brand new setup, so if something isn't working right, shoot something in chat because it's going to let me know right off the bat if we mess something up. Because
What's the brand new setup you said, right?
everything's brand new in this room. We're like literally
Maiden voyage of all new equipment.
most people test. We say screw it, let's go live and see if it works.
Cut once, measure twice.
Oh yes. Oh, we have a bunch of people watching. All right.
Sweet.
Wow. I had a ton of fun. I got to make fun of John for an entire year and say, "Oh, do you remember about that time at Daytona?"
Yeah.
And then you would say, "No."
Now I can say yes.
I got to ask you, as a person who walked in to the Speedway for the first time and seeing it in person, I want to feel what you felt when you walked in.
It's massive. It's weird. You know what I mean? I mean, coming from the short tracks, you walk into this mansion. It's a freaking hotel with bars every 5 feet, and there's kiosks and suites, and it's
insane.
Just the building itself before you can see the track is insane. And then you see the track and you take it all in, and it's pretty freaking cool. I mean, you've seen Days of Thunder and you've seen all the races and you've seen the historic clips, and you just get to kind of respect where you're standing at that moment. With that being said, I will say that it's definitely not a short track. I still love my short track. So Uncle Mike actually introduced us to the dirt track scene. Me and Mark got to go to our first real dirt track.
Can you guys tell I'm like all in on dirt? Dirt.
That was something cool.
It was great.
Not only did we get to experience that as fans and just all sit together and watch that event, but I think walking around and seeing the atmosphere and the vibe around that, we got to learn some of the stuff we were doing right.
Yep.
A lot of the stuff we could be doing better, and some of the stuff we will be doing better going forward.
You know, all the races I go to throughout the year, especially last year, is you always learn something. You know, you always pick up, wow, why didn't we do that?
Right.
And then you watch some things that you were thinking that you might want to do. Then you see somebody else do it and say, yeah, that's not for us.
Right.
I mean, so you always learn something.
So we will have alligators in the
Oh, yeah.
alligators and
That's funny.
free pork chop sandwiches at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird when Mike posted that picture. I'm like, that's not really there. And then he points them out to me. He's like, yeah, right there, sitting in the water. And there's more over there. And there's more over there. And I was like, oh. And there's actually a sign that says, don't feed them.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to get a picture.
Then you see the guys with their fish poles fishing in there during the afternoon. And it's a different atmosphere for sure.
I don't think I would want to eat anything that came out of that pond.
No,
not at all.
That's just strictly catch and release, man.
This tastes like muddy deer.
Dirt was definitely an experience. Mike told me forever. He's like, you got to go to a dirt track. We're going down. And things weren't lining up like we were going to be able to.
Right.
And finally, rain and our obligations. You guys only get to see the fun stuff that we do. We went to 4 days of classes, probably spent 8 hours a day, 5 days, 8 hours a day inside, which is a great networking experience. We get to learn and talk to other people, other track owners, promoters. Going to Volusia for me was a break because I haven't been able to go, and neither do you guys. Mike, you do. You go as a fan all the time. I never do.
Yeah, well, that was my first dirt race too. Last time I went.
Oh, really?
Last time I got sick. I didn't know that.
Yeah, okay,
I was like some stomach bug or something. I wound up sitting in the car just like wanting to puke my guts out. So
what did you think about the dirt big block mod race?
I'll give you
Larry White charging on the top, right rear, right against the fence for 20 laps, coming from 10th to finally getting the lead, then getting tangled up in the lap car, and it bounces off the second place car, sails it into one on the top, and catches a rut and flips it.
It was the best 5 to 10 seconds of my life. I mean, I had never heard of. I mean, you hear the big names. You know, you got Bobby Pierce and all those big guys out. I'd never heard of Lightning Larry White in my life. I walked right up to the merch trailer after, and I'm like, "Do you guys have his T-shirt?" Like, no, and I'm like, "God damn it!"
searching for it.
Yeah, well, I found them.
Well, that's the cool thing, that you go to these dirt tracks and you look, these guys have full-blown merchandise trailers.
Yeah.
Not just the track, it's the drivers. They have a full-blown trailer. They have hats, shirts, mugs. They have,
any type of merch you can think of, those guys have.
Exactly. And it wasn't like one trailer. How many, this could have been what?
Oh, God.
25?
Yeah. I mean, when you go to Volusia, or you go to any outlaw type event like that, it's an event. It's not just a race. It's an event. It's an event. And you go behind the main grandstands, and it's a whole carnival atmosphere.
Oh, exactly.
The track had one. World of Outlaws had one. The late models on themselves had one.
Sure.
And then
all the drivers
10
and
to 15
teams.
drivers had one. It was the ASI, the company that makes it all for them, had their own. I mean, it was crazy to see. Like, it's a perfect atmosphere for an idiot like me, because I think I spent $350 freaking dollars there that night.
How many shirts did you get? How many hats?
I think I got 8 shirts. I walked away I brought a suitcase and I had to pack it. I had to throw a couple shirts out in Florida so I could pack my hats. I walked away with like 15 to 18 hats.
The hats were cool.
The hats were killer. I mean, you know what I mean? You can wear those all year long.
I'll tell you right now.
So you're wearing a nice one there, Mark.
Yeah, I got my World of Outlaws one. This is a funny story. I literally pointed at the hat and I said, "That's a really cool hat." And that was the extent of what I said. And I kept walking, and Ben's like, "Do you like that hat?" And I was like, "I love that hat." He's like, "Why don't you buy it?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm cheap." And then he's like, "If I buy you the hat, will you stop bitching about it?" And I was like, "I don't think I bitched about it." And then Ben walks over and hands me the hat. Like, "Thank you. I love the hat. It hasn't been off my head since we got home." I love
this guy up.
Shut this guy up, for the love of God.
I'll tell you. So the whole atmosphere for me, just going in as a fan and going into a whole realm of motorsports that I've never seen. I walked into that place, and the first thing I saw is everyone was hanging out in the parking lot, partying. They were cooking on grills. They were
just going to a football game.
Yeah, having fun. They were all tailgating. You walk in, I'm greeted with a screen that is 27 feet wide and like 16 feet tall.
Those
guys,
that'd be cool to have one of those screens.
Pointing to the parking lot. Yeah. It was pointing to the parking lot. And I'm like, this is amazing. And I'm just checking it out, of course. Me and Mike took pictures and know who makes that trailer now. So that phone call has already been made. And you walk in, and you literally walk into merchandise row. And there's all the trailers. And like I said, they had body panels. People were signing autographs. Guys, you have all this room at these tracks. Come set up a booth. Come set up a pop-up tent. Set up a trailer.
Absolutely. We'll let you do it.
Yeah, we're actually, I talked to the boss man. We're going to actually go and get a couple of just plain pop-ups and some fold-out tables, and we'll have those for rent for cheap prices at the track. You guys want to set up and sell you guys' merchandise right out in the main grandstand area, just reach out to me.
There's a lot of money to be made on merch.
You can tell.
For the race teams, but you have to work on it. It's not a case of going up for an hour and throwing a couple T-shirts on the table.
Kyle Bronson, one of the mod guys, I bought his shirt. I think it was his girlfriend.
Yeah,
sitting there by herself in the trailer. I mean,
you got to work it. I mean, you got to invest, and you have to work it, and not, like I said, not just a T-shirt or this.
Hats,
think outside the box.
Yeah.
And the local fans will buy it. I know I buy their shit.
I will buy your guys' shit. I promise you.
So
I'm pretty sure you could create a massive blanket with all the shirts you bought. Even a car cover, I bet.
Probably, multi-car cover.
Multi-car cover.
My house.
He can probably cover every car that shows up for the Pro Stock Nationals, which is a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, it's getting
getting to the guys selling their merch. I mean, sell your sponsors.
Yeah.
That's all about. Sell your sponsors. Sell yourself. Sell your merch. I mean, that's something that we all need to do.
Also, go ahead, bring up the T-shirt.
Oh,
T-shirt. This is another big play of why you guys will want to do this.
So at the dirt track, they had a little stage right off the front stretch, and they introduced drivers. And Bob, we know you're the best, okay? So
I'm sorry.
So what they did was they introduced the drivers, and the guy would hand them a T-shirt gun to shoot a T-shirt into the stands. I loved it so much. I'm like, we're ordering a T-shirt gun.
Oh yeah.
And I saw one that shoots 3. It's like a bazooka, and we need that.
Yeah, we had to talk Ben down from the.
Oh, there's a Gatling gun. The chain gun one. It was like $5,000. I'm like, man, because knowing my luck is I had to load them up with junk old T-shirts and say, hey, shut up. What?
Yeah,
We already called exactly because Ben is fun to work for. If you guys haven't figured that out, we already figured out how the T-shirt cannon deal is going to go. Every Friday, Ben's going to show up at Claremont and be like, everybody who works here, line up, close your eyes, turn around, and someone's going to get whacked with it just to test the velocity every week. Like, I already see this happening.
Bob, if you're down, I will figure out how to get a human cannon, and we will launch you out of it.
Oh, that would be...
I'm not kidding. We will somehow figure that out.
All right, so getting into the little bit more of the rest of that night, you walk in, you see the drivers in their own booth signing autographs, signing not even just the merch that they were selling, signing autographs for people. There was a whole atmosphere of people that showed up hours early just to come and what we did. We walked the midway, we walked the pits, we checked everything out. I actually bought shirts, which I never do. I bought shirts. I bought all kinds of stuff down there. I didn't buy a hat because hats were more expensive than shirts. But, you know, baby steps here. Baby steps here. John's like, I got to work 3 more weeks to buy these hats. The atmosphere was cool. And then we saw the T-shirt gun. And then we saw something that I was like, we should probably start doing this. In Victory Lane for the Premier Division, when that guy got out of the car, they have confetti cannons that shoot off. Mark immediately ordered confetti cannons, guys. So the Premier Division of the night is going to get, when they get out of the car, they're going to get hit with a confetti cannon, and it's going to be more of a spectacle. It's going to be more of a, I just won. Those pictures will go on Facebook ridiculously well. They'll look good for your sponsor. They look good for everybody.
The ones that they had there, it wasn't even like a cannon. It was cool. It was like those money machines that make it rain. It flooded it. It was really cool.
Yeah, super cool.
And me and you are idiots. We're like, Mike, how are they going to race with all the confetti on the track? And he's like, you guys are morons.
Pretty much.
We don't know, you know?
It's different. Like, I said the same thing. I'm like, these cars are going to spin out. Mike's like, they're going to fire the motor and drive by, and it's going to blow off. And it did. It blew everything right away.
Not even half the first pace lap. It was gone.
Yeah. Human cannon. Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. Because now the comments guys are in a different spot, so they're not directly in front of me. So I got to look
in front
over.
of me, and I'm not even paying attention.
New Smyrna. We went down there and saw the ASA race.
That was
great racing. It was a great race in Smyrna all week long too.
That ASA race was freaking phenomenal.
How many days do you think we spent down there at New Smyrna total?
4 at least.
At least 4.
We go there after the classes and stuff.
Yeah, so. That was usually our spot.
I want to give a shout out to little Jimmy Renfro. He had a solid week.
Yeah,
he did.
They had one unfortunate night, but I mean, shit happens.
What do you have, 2 wins, 2 seconds? Unofficially?
I don't think he finished out of the top 3 the whole week.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a phenomenal week, so congratulations to those guys. I know they work hard and working hard on that.
I don't know if this is actual fact, but I think he was one of the best, if not the best, Donnie Wilson Motorsports cars down there for the Pro Lates.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone that really topped him out of that.
I mean, they had a great week, and unfortunately, Derek, he didn't have a.
I've never seen him get so pissed off in my life. If anyone knows Derek, he's a calm, cool-headed kid, and he got out of that car, and I talked to him because I was going to punch him. I was going to hit him, but he's like, "Why hit a guy with a helmet on?"
Yeah, he goes, "If I hit him with his helmet on," he goes, "I look like just as big as an idiot as he does." That's true, man. That's true.
He gave him a good tongue lashing, and the guy just.
So the best part about that, I don't know if because it was our first time being down there, at least me. I don't know how this worked out, but the one time Griffith gets mad and riled up at somebody, it seemed like everybody from New England that was in Florida was in this little section of grandstands.
We're all down at turn 1.
Was there was like, what the hell is happening here? We're all yelling.
Can we say that?
No.
When I said,
yeah. Oh, so we're all booing.
Everyone gets all excited.
Boo, boo. Now, if you don't know me, I kind of take it to the next level just because I want to. So everyone quiets down. I just go, Derek! Punch him in the throat!
Everybody
stops. Looks at me. I'm like, what? I would.
He's like, that's all I really had.
Yeah.
Bob Williams, I couldn't catch a break in Florida. No, you caught the brake. You couldn't catch the gas.
Also, Justin Beecher, he had a rough week.
He had a rough week.
He could not.
He was fast all week, but was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
602 class is brutal down there. That's like
Demolition Derby.
Oh, that's like starting the back. Just hope you finish decent and make sure you watch out what you're doing.
Didn't last year one of those 602 mods go and take the entire backstretch fence down? Come on.
Well, I think I said it earlier in the week. Oh, hell yeah. I said, Beecher gets it tough because he starts mid to late pack and it's just everything happens. But then he starts 8th and it happens right in front of him again. Yeah. It's just
he didn't cause any of the stuff.
No.
He just
collected.
And also, Brian Roby. Brian had a good run in the tour race. I think he finished 12th, 10th, 12th, something like that. Then later in the week, he had a rough night in practice and knocked the right front off, and that ended his week.
I like the looks of his new car.
I do love the
really nice. The new 25, it looks good.
Yeah. The ASA race, I think, put more people in the stands than probably did for the wheeling race. That place was packed, both of those events.
I think they're both the same.
That was an insane race.
We had a cool ASA race because literally it was me, Artie was in front of us, and then Noah Gregson just walks right up next to us, and Artie.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love Artie Grenier, but drunk Artie Grenier is way more fun because Artie doesn't say things. He acts them out. Like, we know what he's saying. He nudges me, and he's like,
oh, yeah.
I'm what is he asking for? And then he'd be like, I'm like, what is he doing? And then I look to my right, and there's some 22-year-old guy with his phone Snapchatting Artie repeatedly and laughing and nudging his buddies like, look at this drunk guy. And then that guy comes up and apparently knows Noah because they bump knuckles and they talk, and then he starts going, look at that drunk guy. Starts showing him all these Artie pictures. And I'll have some pictures in there. We have a show and tell that we're going to do tonight. I have some fun Artie pictures that are in there.
Oh, Jesus.
God, that's going to be scary.
Yes, it is.
And the night before, John nudges me. He's like, oh, do you know who's sitting right next to you? Wasn't it Bonsignor was sitting right there?
Justin Bonsignor.
I was like, they just walk around. You forget, there's just normal people too. Speaking about not wanting to forget things, what's coming up on Claremont Motorsports Park on Saturday, Mr. Parks?
Well, we're going to have an enduro. It's not really going to be a snow enduro anymore because there is literally no snow on the racetrack. There's a little bit in turns 3 and 4.
Up in the corner?
Up in the corner, up by the wall. But we're going to move forward and do the enduro. We changed the schedule up a little bit. We're going to do a 100-lap 4-cylinder enduro. Then we're going to run the 6 and the 8 cylinders together. And we're still going to do the side-by-sides. I had multiple guys still want to do it. So talk to Ben and so forth and so on, and we're going to move forward with that. Guys, chaos,
chaos, and that's my forte.
Just the side by sides. Just remember, be smart.
Your ride height is 2 feet off the ground.
So we did put a thing in there. You got to have half doors or nets on the side. We highly recommend arm restraints and a 5-point harness. But just be smart.
Yeah.
And also all your enduro guys, make sure you bring your scorers. Everybody's got to have a scorer. I would suggest bringing a clipboard to something so you have something to write on.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be a good day. The weather's going to be a little chilly, but we're in New Hampshire in the end of February, so it's what it is. So
it's New Hampshire. Right. You're going to see some racing. It's not going to be like Speed Weeks, although one of those days was pretty cold.
Oh yeah. What are we doing for laps for the V6 V8? Do we know?
No. We kind of left it as to be determined,
depending on how many show up
to see what we have.
At least probably a minimum of 50 at least.
Yeah.
So Harmon asked, with the 6/8, is there one winner for the entire event, or one winner in the 6 and one winner in the 8?
Usually, how we do it is it's kind of like a.
I did it as one winner overall.
You'd be surprised how fast some of those V6 cars to the V8. So it's kind of.
Should be a fun day. We'll be broadcasting it live on RaceDayTV.com as well, available for pay-per-view, and for all the people that still are on the unlimited plan, it will be included in there because that is a rolling 365 days. So it's whenever you bought it to the day before you bought it. So those are still active as well. Still kind of trying to iron out some of that subscription fees for that because it's got to work for everybody, unfortunately.
So what did we decide? We're going to do a pay-per-view for the guys that don't own it for whatever it's a $10
it
ticket.
Always is whatever the ticket price is.
Yeah. And we are going to open the main grandstands on Saturday. We're comfortable enough where there is really no snow on the ground. And, my biggest concern was if there's snow, everything's aluminum, somebody's going to fall on their ass and
Absolutely.
get hurt. So, but right now, everything's good. And,
and people can see the new backstretch area and all that stuff.
That's all.
That's going to be interesting.
That's all done. Yeah. Just remember the concession stands and the main grandstands will not be open. So I'll just put that in the back of your head.
To answer Colton Hull's message, where do I find last year's videos? So anything that's no longer on RaceDayTV.com has already been integrated over to YouTube. So go over and search RaceDayTV on YouTube. Find our actual page. Yeah. Because there is another RaceDayTV that's in another country on Facebook that people keep tagging in. That guy sent me a message and he's like, I don't know what kind of business you guys do, but I answer a lot of your messages. Yeah. And I was like, it is what it is, buddy. Sorry. Yeah. But those are all over on YouTube, available for free. So we'll be switching all that stuff over at the beginning of the year. Tell your friends we're trying to grow that YouTube page because if it starts to pick up, we'll do some YouTube exclusives and some really cool stuff on there. Once we get that over 1,000 subscribers, it really opens up what we can and cannot do on that show. One of the other things that we learned, I talked to a bunch of people down, and this was during the RPM workshops. I got into touch with some people that do some cool audio stuff. One of the biggest things that people say is, I want to be in Claremont and I want to be able to hear what's going on in the grandstands. And I'm like, cool. We had an FM transmitter. Doesn't work at Lee. It makes weird noises and it messes things up. We tried it at Claremont. It wouldn't reach all the areas. So we actually reached out. We got a company figured out where we're going to provide race day audio free of charge to anybody who has a cell phone. So you'll basically, I'll send out a link. You'll subscribe to our live channel, and whenever we're broadcasting, you get exactly what comes off the mics of the announcers. You can be sitting at home. You can be in California. You can still listen to the audio that is going on at that track. Absolutely free of charge. Looking to have that sponsored. So this is a great way. This is exclusive audio that's going to reach everybody. Your business could be tied into this. This could be the Race Day TV audio production line, courtesy of whichever sponsor that you have. And we're only going to do one per track. So lock that in sooner than later. Since John, you look like you're sleeping. Let's see.
Yeah, Andrew, because you ask boring questions.
Oh. So that's something we're going to roll out. I'm going to try to test that. You got to remember, the system that we're bringing to Claremont this weekend, since I can't get my trailer in there, is very small. So it's not the normal setup. The cameras are the same, but the production equipment behind the scenes, we're running a smaller setup. I will try that audio just to see how it works this weekend, to see if it works for everybody. But like you guys' feedback, what else would you like to see on the streams? We're going to start really incorporating a lot of fantasy racing stuff. So get logged in and get your fantasy set up, because there's going to be a lot to come on that subject soon. So you guys get in on that. We're down to Daytona recap. Basically, how did we say this? We decided to start taking some pictures and having some fun to show some of the fun that we had. So I'm going to go ahead and
I'm scared of.
All right, let's get ourselves right in line here. They're so small, and honestly, I actually asked everybody to just text me, and I don't know what everybody sent. So this could get interesting. All right, we'll start right here and watch it not connect now. Oh, see, it's not going to connect. I had to restart it because it timed out.
Nice job, Mark.
It timed out. I'm sorry. Technology doesn't always work. That right there, guys, that's a racetrack. That is New Smyrna Speedway. That is just sitting at the road looking across the street. That's beautiful.
I miss the palm trees already.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That was awesome.
Fake palm trees and plant them all around the racetracks. That'd be awesome.
That would be
all
fun.
Through the grandstand area.
I'm going to be sitting there crying because I miss the heat.
This thing right here, I saw and I absolutely love. You guys see it when you watch Flow Racing and stuff like that. That is awesome. That is their little buggy.
They had two of those. I don't know if one of them broke, but all that is a Volkswagen chassis with a cage on it.
Yeah, they had those at Riverside Park for years in Agawam.
John got to stand really close to an actual NASCAR guys. This was awesome. It was weird. It was in the parking lot of that Chinese restaurant that I absolutely hated. But look at that thing. Like, how cool is that?
Oh, God.
Absolutely. What? I won.
Okay.
It was the first of the car.
John got to meet a legend.
That was awesome.
That was really
cool.
A picture with him.
John can tell that. I don't know who he is.
No. So Gary Ballou is an absolute legend. You know what I mean? For
read
those
his
who don't,
book, man.
I have. So you got to go read his book. It's a great book. Trust me, I don't read very well, and I read it from front to back. But
I had to read it 5 times to understand it.
The picture part was my easiest. So I sat there and I saw his car and I seen the merch and I'm like, man, that's really cool. And then I fucking saw Gary. I'm like, no way. So I walked up. I'm talking to him. I bought a hat. He signed it. And I'm like, can I get a picture? He's like, yeah. So Mark takes the picture. Gary looks at Mark and goes, would you like a picture, young man? And Mark goes, no, I'm all right. John, let's go.
You see John's going,
that guy thought he was doing me a favor. Like, I'll let you hit a shirt for free. I'll let you get a picture for free, son. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I didn't know who he was, so it didn't matter to me.
Read his book, and you'll know exactly who he is.
I'll let you read mine.
Here is, all right. There's a story here that I absolutely love.
God, I'm afraid.
Here is a picture of Mr. Pine.
Yeah. Uncle Mike.
Here is him like, what's going on? And then the next picture when he realizes that John, tell the story of what you have done.
So at the RPM Promoters Workshops, I think it's because we had such a big group that we had to get our cards made there.
Yeah.
Well, the thing broke down. We had to go back. Well, Mike had left. So we went to the lady. She's like, oh, here's all yours. And I'm like, wait a minute. I go, can you make another one that just says Uncle Mike? And this woman was absolutely for it. She sat there. She printed me one out. And we got to Smyrna. I'm like, oh, yeah. Here's your pass. And he just took it.
I didn't even look at it.
No, looking back, I should have let you walk right into the Hoosier tent. They're like, Uncle Mike,
whatever.
Yeah, you're good.
Here's a picture of the aforementioned Artie.
Oh, yeah.
Artie. That
Drunk
was
Artie, starving, and because they didn't open the concessions up to like 6 o'clock at night.
That was dumb.
Artie's like, I just paid $15 for this bag of popcorn. It's great.
Side note on the popcorn. So that was the only thing open was the giant kettle corn.
There's another picture that goes to that I'm trying to find.
Dying of thirst. And we're like, man, nothing's open, but there's a vending machine. The bar was. That's where I went afterwards. But Mark puts $4 into a vending machine, hits it. It says sold out.
This one right here?
Yeah, so it did not have that out of order when we went there. Mark puts in $4, and all of a sudden he's like, I want my fucking J. I'm done. And he hits change, and I just hear ching, 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 ching for a lot longer than it should have went. It was giving him dimes. It gave him $4 back at dimes. I've never seen Mark so mad. I thought he was going to pick up the freaking soda machine and throw it out of the property. He was sitting there screaming, and then we walk away. He's like, I didn't lose my cool, did I? I'm like, it was pretty bad.
So I take that $4 about an hour later when the bar opened and walked in. I was like, I'll take a Diet Pepsi. And I said $4 worth of dimes on it. She's like, I don't want them. I said, neither did I. Your stupid machine gave me those. She's like, what? And I was like, she's like, how do I know there's $4? I'm like, I don't care. I put $4 in and that's what it gave me back. This is now yours. Hand me a Diet Pepsi. So going back to Artie.
So you're that customer that I tell, when we're working in the concessions, our concession people, and they're giving them a hard time.
You're that guy.
You're that guy. Okay.
Oh my God.
I have been known to lose my cool over food-related items in the past.
Yeah, I can see you food-related.
So Artie had this huge bag of popcorn. Came up, ate it for a while. That one right here that he's eating. And he sets it down and then disappears. He said he was going to the bathroom. He was like, I got to go pee. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
I think he went halfway through the other way of the track.
Pulpit completely fell asleep next to the bag of popcorn. So me and John start eating the bag of popcorn. And then we look down and realized we ate it all. That's like a little bit at the bottom. So I'm like, he's going to be eating this. So I took the bag and I blew it up. air and set it back down. And Artie's like, just picks up the bag, opens it up like nothing happened, and starts eating. I was like, wow.
Like watering down your parents' booze bottles, you know what I mean? Just hope they don't notice.
Oh my god!
All right, so here's a cool picture. We immediately go up into, it was called the boardroom at the RPM Promoters Workshop.
Yeah.
I did not realize what the view was. Legion Speedway.
Ronnie Giroux.
Who was watching it, realized it right away. And he's like, that's the view from Daytona. That right there is from our room that we're having a meeting in. Like, that was cool.
Well, that's the Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they filmed Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Mike Skinner, former Craftsman Truck Series driver, came up and gave a keynote speech.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was great. Let's see here. Here is Ben laughing at Michelle. What you're not seeing was this was Michelle doing the YMCA.
She had a few wobbly pops that night. she was getting into the dancing and stuff. So
she was doing the MCAY.
Yeah, just so I did. Michelle's not one who likes pictures, so I did clear this one with Michelle beforehand. Coolest thing I ever got to go do is turn the caution lights on at Daytona.
Oh yeah,
that was such a fanboy.
Best Make-A-Wish ever.
So video?
I'm not going to show the video because it's on Facebook. So if you guys want to go see it, it's on Facebook. But this right here, this first seat that you see, is the race director. Two seats down,
it's an empty seat. That's the
that would be where the wrecked racer's seat is. 2 seats down is where the caution turns on. Which actually, I had like 5 or 6 people reach out to me yesterday because of the caution controversy that happened during the 500. They're like, how does that process work? And I'm like, I just so happen to know because I've actually turned the caution lights on. Squeeze, hold 2 seconds, then the lights come on. It's a 2-second delay. So when they call for the caution, those lights don't turn on for 2 seconds. So they did make the correct decision. Sorry to tell all you guys that are mad that he won. They made the right decision. The decision was correct. Let's see here. Of course, I found this car.
Yeah. Mark just goes, take a picture of me.
My favorite car out on the racetrack of the entire. This guy, I wish I could remember his name. Super cool.
He
had a fan.
I walked up to him and I was like, dude, I saw your car the other night. I said, it's the coolest looking car I've ever seen on the track. Can I take a picture with you? He's like, do you want me in it? I was like, absolutely. Like, this guy's not used to people ask for pictures. I was like, this was badass.
There was a car that you liked better. It had a huge hot dog on the side. Sponsored by Ballpark Franks.
This is where we got to. This is right here's Volusia.
Those guys, when they come into the corner and they're just completely flat-footed, it's like, I want to do that.
All right,
try that.
Here's where we're gonna have a little fun.
Oh no!
Here's a cool picture of all of us hanging out at Volusia.
Oh yeah.
I don't care black for this one.
Is this okay? Is it this story that's coming up?
I'll tell it. You want me to go?
Go ahead.
So I'm standing directly behind him and Jess, and they start playing the Canadian national anthem. All right, Canada's blaring. And I see Jess turn to Ben, and she leans in and says something that I couldn't hear. And I just see Ben look at her in disgust and like put his hand up, like, no, maybe later. Like, we'll think about this later. 2 minutes later, he turns around and he goes, "Hey, Jess just told me Canada's in the United States."
She thought it was a state.
So me and Mark start messing with her. We're like, "Well, yeah, of course it's in the United States. How do you think you get to Alaska?" And she's like, "Alaska?" But yeah, Alaska's in the United States. She's like, "No, it's not."
So I immediately,
sorry.
I maybe have had a few wobbly things as well.
Yeah.
And I immediately took my phone. I was like, "Hey, Jess." And she turns around and I snapped this picture of her and I said, I just found out Alaska's
So the best part was Ben's telling her. Ben's like, no. He's like, Google it. It'll be funny. Google it. And I go, no. I'll save us time. I turn around to 2 complete strangers.
These people.
Those people. Very top. Looked at him. I go, excuse me. Settle a debate. They're like, Alaska, United States or not? And they're like, come on. Like, they looked at me like I was trying to be an ass, you know? And then the guy behind me, who does not know us, nails me and he goes, "Don't even try to explain her about Hawaii."
When I said, Well, hey, what's that never meant to the territories? And then this jackass goes, well, how about you name him? Like, oh,
Candyland. Buffalo, New York.
Shot myself in the foot on that one.
Here is John's. Sad that
I missed Uncle Mike
and Uncle Mike and Auntie Michelle.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was alone. You can't leave me unsupervised. I get tired. I get lonely.
This is just a view down. This is where we were when we were up at the meetings.
Yeah,
that's what our view was. I don't know what this picture is, and it's not one that now I'm getting into stuff that other people took, so now I'm getting worried because they're pictures of me, and it obviously looks like I'm eating. So this is going to be great.
I find that hard to believe.
Mark's like, we'll skip that.
Yep. So mine. This is obviously Ben's picture. I'm sitting there out on the porch. John walks out and says,
"They got chili dog."
They got
chili. Didn't say anything.
I thought it was. Oh yeah.
I tapped you and put the chili dog in front of your face, and
No, you walked by me, and I hey, watch this. Mark's gonna come right out. I'm not gonna say a word.
Oh yeah, I didn't. He got up out of his chair like it was on fire.
I went in. I did what any fat guy does. I make myself a chili dog. I take a bite, realize this is really good. Immediately turn back around and made a second one. They were scrumptious. Yeah. I don't know what this picture.
That was not my best. If you
said this one,
I don't know. No. Okay, if you look at this picture, if you look at where my back is to my stomach, it's wider than the damn stroller. Okay, I need to go on a diet.
If anybody who needs it closer up, I just screenshotted this. Hold on.
Good. See, you can't even make that close.
You guys want to see a new feature that we have now? Just in case anybody wants to know, this right here.
Do I even want to know?
That's a hot dog that Ben is eating right there. We now have a telestrator for the stream, guys. Oh, how cool is that?
Poor Ben.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, don't worry. We're going to S on somebody else right now.
Yeah, it's going to be my turn, I'm sure.
All right, so we did a career, an employee building outing where we went out and we had a lot of fun. We did. I have had, this was the most fun I've ever had, ever. Probably even with just friends in general. Sorry, guys. We went and played mini golf. First, Ben looks at me and says, everybody wants to see a fat guy in a tornado. Jump in this. Basically, John nailed it. It was a fat guy cool down machine. I would like to install one of these at all the racetracks.
Explain. Well, now, why did we go mini golfing, though? Because NASCAR does a golf outing.
I didn't want to really say that, but
we can't golf. And Mike, you look like you could golf, no?
No.
Okay, so then not a chance. So Ben was like, well, since none of us can do that, why don't we do?
I go to the bathroom with my contacts like falling out of my eye.
Should we wait for the fun part for you?
Go ahead, it's fine.
All right, I'm gonna.
So Ben basically said like none of us can golf, but we can all probably muster up to do mini golf.
Yeah.
So we had our first ever Race Day Productions mini golf outing
with live gators.
Yeah,
like they have live gators right there, and you hang out. And then if you pay them $25, they'll bring one with its mouth duct tape, so you to take one picture with your cell phone.
Yeah,
and then say,
"$25, you want another?" Please.
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa!" So here's some good pictures. Let's see. Yep, there we're golfing there. Yep,
oh,
John
Woods.
Is Tiger Woods of mini golf, by the way. Let's see, random one. Yep, you had to shoot the other way with the club. Oh yeah, Mike, you got good form there.
Yeah. I had good form falling down the stairs.
What happened with that one?
I wish there was a cool story to go with it.
There is.
It wasn't. I just fell. I wasn't shit-faced and nothing. I tripped going down the stairs and I ended up in the bushes.
We're on hole 16 out of 18. Where it goes down the steps to get to the bottom of the hole. I get halfway down and I just hear.
You have to tell the best part, though. So this hole, they have every couple holes, they have this board that you spin. And you have to do whatever it says. Mike nailed the one that said, you cannot speak for this entire hole. Michelle also did.
Yeah.
So as Mike is dying in the bush with blood
running down the side of his face,
Michelle's like,
She's like, sorry.
And she's like, not talking.
Not losing a point.
Mike's over there. I think I'm dying. She's like, in her head, she's like, point's a point. Sorry, buddy. Not happening. Mike has to go because this isn't a joke. He actually, look at his face.
Yeah,
he actually sliced his face open. There was a lot of blood. He fell in. All I saw in my head was the Wicked Witch of the West who had, we just got hit by the house. And all I saw was his little feet dangling out of the bush. I have no
idea how I did that.
And so Mike ends up going, gets cleaned up. And Michelle's like, as we're...
Bring the chair.
Maybe he's light. The best part about this
next thing I'll be falling down the floor here.
I think we need to have this up for the rest of the discussion. As we are, Mike goes and takes care of himself, and he comes back. And Michelle's great with numbers, and Michelle is extremely competitive. I've discovered
extremely. Holy
the hole's over. She's like, we're like, yes, and she was like, and then she's scoring it. She's like, he did speak when he fell, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you had a bunch of 4-letter words. She's like, how many? And I was like, maybe 3. She's like, point. I was like, he's her. And she's like, I don't care. If he beats me by 3 because of this, that's a problem. And I went, Michelle's a pretty cool person. Like, that was awesome. Golfing, John won. Actually, I think you guys tied.
I would have won.
If she hadn't docked me those 3 points, I would have won.
I had a par 2 for like almost every hole. Mike fell. I was like 7 or 8 after that. I'm like, I can't even focus.
One of the cool things we saw at Daytona, Ben pointed this out, which was super cool. This is hanging in the main lobby. It's actually every one of the tracks that they own. And that is awesome.
Yeah,
that was cool. That was.
Got to see a wrecked actual NASCAR up close. This thing folded. It was absolutely
like a cheap lawn chair.
Gnarly how that thing looked. We got to see them wrapping Blaney's car in the pits right there. Like, that was super cool. I don't know what this one is, and I'm scared. Oh, that's Ben eating a hot dog again.
Oh, thanks.
Let's see.
There goes my diet.
Oh, here. I have a Ben diet face, too. And I did the same thing.
You shut your mouth. That'd be great. Thanks.
And let's see. Oh, we got to see Ben's little cute boy experience racing for the first time.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm screwed.
He loved it. We got Ben just checking out Daytona. We got this thing that happened. John sleeping. I don't know what that is. Oh, just walking in. Like, that's the scale of walking up to that thing. That place is
massive.
It is huge, yeah.
The infrastructure that these tracks have is beyond belief. It's like, it's nuts.
Thank you, Mr. Nutting. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Thank you, Mr. Nutting.
That's a horrible picture.
Who took that one? That was me. Wow, that's a bad picture.
Yeah, Ben turned around and went,
I seriously don't know.
Jess looked at me. She's trying to take a picture. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, look behind you. I look over and I see her. I go, oh, my time to shine.
Oh, my God. That's a good one. That's a horrible fucking... My whole head sunk it into my chest.
Me and John like to have fun and make memes. That's what we do. We make memes. He made that one about Mike falling in the bush. So Ben's like, I want to be part of the fun.
I kind of figured it out a little bit.
So this is the normal picture right here that we just had that had Mr. Mike. And Ben's like, how did I do? And I was like, pretty good. I was like, actually, pretty good. That's a good meme right there. And then we went for a jaunt one day. We went for a 3-hour ride. 3-hour tour that to the other side of the state.
Yeah, we went and had barbecue.
Yeah.
And
this is what like seeing a track like this just breaks my heart because I raced there once. I actually won there, surprisingly.
How many cars were there?
Yeah, I was just going to ask him the same thing. Not that many, but I still won. I don't care. And this is Bronson Speedway. It's a really cool facility, but it's
been closed for 3 years since COVID.
Since COVID,
it hasn't opened up
shut
since
this
COVID.
place down.
It's definitely cool. Who knows how many snakes and gators we went through to get over to there?
I don't know, but it was cool to see all the stuff there and everything, but it just sucks to see a track like that.
Oh, geez, I can't believe you took a picture of that.
Oh, do I even want to know?
Yeah,
that's Mark Payne.
Mark's like, I'm going to take a leak right here. I'm like, I'm going to take a picture.
Actually, the facility itself,
it's not that bad.
It's overgrown. A week's with a
brush hog
and weed eaters and all that stuff.
I don't even know what you're doing there.
Yeah, that was Artie's popcorn.
Oh yes. That track really got some stuff going in Mike's head and Ben's head because phone calls have been made. People were looking. It's a cool facility.
It's funny because I'm looking at Mike. You go, you think we can make this work down here? And shit, yeah. And I'm like, oh god, that's all I need. I need another track.
I just want to take 2 seconds because everybody sees the comments of what's going on. I just want to make something crystal clear to everybody. We do this for fun. We're promoting the tracks. We're having fun. We come to a live show. We talk about what's going on. We're in the off season right now. We just spent 10 days in Daytona. Really this is our first year as a complete team of ourselves and really narrowing down everything that we're doing. And I think we're trying to do a pretty good mix of keeping things fun for everybody involved and promote stuff at the same time. And so when I see comments like that one that pops up in there, it really is a kick to the balls, honestly. So I'm happy when people speak up and kind of see what we're trying to do. But right there, what you say and do absolutely ruins short track racing because right now, all that's in my head while I'm trying to sit here and have fun is thinking about how much of a D-bag you are. So I'm trying to be cool and trying to not swear and do things, but it really, really makes me mad. If you don't like it, there's another track in New Hampshire. Go hang out or go to Florida. Go to California. I don't care. End of Mark rant because I'm just gonna block you. You don't like me. That's fine. I don't really care.
Deep breath.
Moving on, let's look at something else dumb one of us did. We just try to have fun as a team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we've all had misconceptions about each other over the years. I had more fun this last 10 days with all of you, and I consider everyone we went down there with friends, and I had a blast.
Well, the cool thing is we're all having fun doing this, but we're also learning a massive amount because I know I do this. If I go to a track and I see they're successful, I look at every possible way. Go, okay, how can we integrate what they're doing into our tracks?
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
Can we do it? Or what do we need to do? So, like the RPM classes we took. I mean, you took the was it the one with it was the lawyer one and all that stuff and all that, and then there's a bunch of other ones for
there's just all kinds of
a round table discussion of what other tracks were doing,
States of the Crate, big event stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Maximizing results on social media. You may see all the stuff that we're doing on social media now that's really hitting and people are liking. This is all stuff that we have learned.
Yeah, speaking of that,
by going to these classes.
Between PRI, the seminars at PRI and the seminars at RPM, you go every year. You always learn
something. Always something new.
Yeah,
we learned about broadcasting that audio out. Like that's going to be something that's going to be game changer this year. Like I'm hoping that it takes off because it's going to allow us to do a bunch of new stuff. Ben has done nothing but pour money into these facilities. Like people aren't dumb. You can drive by Hudson and see what it was like 5 years ago and see what it's like now. Drive by Lee and see what it was like years ago. See what he's done there now. You can go to Claremont. You guys are going to show up to Claremont and really wonder when the race season kicks off and you see the new improvements that haven't even been discussed, talked about, or put out to air. You're going to be like, he is really investing in putting his money where his mouth is because he is. And we wouldn't be here doing it if we didn't believe in what we're doing.
Even I, myself, the other day, Ben took me up and we were looking at some of the stuff coming to Lee. And I was like, holy crap. Like, the investment that this guy puts into these racetracks to keep them alive, not only keep them alive, but to keep them fresh, entertaining, new. I mean, when's the last time you went to one of Ben's tracks and they didn't have something new? Whether it's a banner or a coat of paint.
Every year it's something. Coat of paint. Yes, I caught that. So that's all we're trying to do here. And I'm sorry we upset some people. And know what? Someone's like, just block people. When we took over, the actual running of the facilities, we decided that we were going to unblock and unban everybody.
It's freedom of speech. And
you guys want to talk and complain? Go ahead.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. Welcome back, all 968 people to the Lee USA Speedway Facebook page.
We're blocked.
Oh my God, I couldn't believe how many people were blocked.
Oh yeah, that was
Holy
a good
crap.
All right. Chris Carver's like, you see my comments? I haven't seen any from Chris, have I? Have we missed any? We don't. It doesn't stay on there any longer.
No, there was a couple I saw from Chris.
Chris, go ahead and send it to me privately if you want, and we'll answer it. So as far as the not blocking people, that's fine. We're not going to block people. We're not going to delete people because everybody has a voice. But so don't all the people who see the things that we're doing. So when people start stuff and start saying stuff that you don't agree with, tell them, like, hey, these tracks are good. Classes like the Outlaws, if they're not even less than 3-year commitment, I mean, how long have they been running? They have a commitment. That's what I never understand.
I don't know what George is talking about. We are committed to them. So I mean,
they're still on the agenda right now.
Absolutely.
A reply. Oh, I see. There's a comment there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have new comment system here, so it's all running a little different.
And you can't scroll back either.
Chris said hi. So yes, hi, Chris. Yeah, I did see that at the beginning. I'm excited for this next season. I'm excited to get to Claremont this weekend because that's going to be a fun event. I'm nervous and I'm excited all in one because we're testing a new system.
We tested a new system tonight.
Yes, it's working pretty good.
Did it work fine?
It's working pretty good.
Then. Relax.
Because this is going to... Have you met me, Mike?
It'll be fine.
So, because this will allow us to maybe run a second stream at a second track if we ever have an overlap, and that's what we're trying to get going.
This weekend we're doing everything we can so we can try to have some sort of a small fire in the pit area to help people stay warm. We're working on it. Hopefully, that all works out.
You guys did
this
something
is
like
bigger
that
print
right?
for you to see. So.
Yeah, I have to figure out the
George,
comments.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's been no rule changes for 3 years or 4 years in that class, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we updated the cost of the shocks as shocks went up during COVID, and other than some minor stuff, we've committed to that rules kind of staying the same to let that division grow, and it did.
Yeah,
the division did grow. Mike's bringing back the ACT type late models to add another division to that track to add some more entertainment for everybody. Big things are on the horizon. I still can't believe that Mike fell in that bush.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, speaking,
like I said, I wish there was a cool story. Like I was like half loaded or something when I tripped and fell, but that was probably one of my sober days of the week. So,
speaking of that, everybody's going to want to be keeping an eye out on the Lee Speedway Facebook page in the next week or so. Just
that's exciting.
Yeah, there's some big news. We've been working for the last couple of weeks, actually probably the last couple of months.
Don't worry, Chester, I got you.
And we finally got the confirmation on some big news, and it's actually we have all the big news you could want from the Pro Stock Nationals and the Big Block Supers coming back, but we got even more where that came from. So keep an eye out on social media platforms within the next week or so.
I just can't imagine what it would be. We already have the biggest news possible.
It's going to be pretty big.
ISMA. We have Pro Stock Nationals.
It's going to be upwards of Pro
Stock. It's Bubba
Nationals.
Pollard, right? Because Bubba Pollard signed up for the Pro Stock Nationals.
Is it showstopper? Is he coming back?
I asked if he was going to register. He made his own picture, so
that was the best. I love that.
I think that's where that counts.
Today's was funny. Needs glasses to win. Don't need glasses to win.
Yeah.
You got to take it in the spirit in what it's done.
Chester, we're working on that now. We'll figure something out. I got an idea, and I think it will work just fine. So we'll have the people in the grandstands will have an opportunity to be able to get some coffee and hot chocolate and stuff like that. So.
Excellent. Hey, I could not be more excited the way the show went tonight. This is great. We recapped some stuff. We talked about a bunch of new stuff, and the stream did not crash. Everyone says it sounds good, looks good, and hopefully the show just continues to grow from here. Remember, guys, we want you to come on this show as well. And if you're interested, I want to start trying to do something a little extra, which is just more of a sit down with a driver or something like just a one-on-one. We could basically use this shot right here, and you just hang out. And I kind of want to call it, Tales from the Tavern or something like that, where you just kind of sit down and talk about how you got into racing or any of that stuff, just to kind of add another flavor to what's going on here. So John also surprised me this weekend with something that I I did not realize that you have a memory that you remember everything. He started talking about Hudson history and Lee history and drivers that I don't even know who they are. And he has stories and pictures that go all the way back. And I'm like, we got to start doing that on the show. So I think John's new segment's going to be kind of introducing us to somebody from the past and kind of help pioneer to make it so you can do what we're doing now. Because like I said from the get-go, it's not just us. It's, we need you, you need us, and we all love racing. And this is what saves short track racing. So that's all I got. I had a great time. I had a ton of fun with all of you guys this weekend. So
don't forget, guys,
a real good time.
We do have the Pro Stock National sponsorship board is open for all the laps, 1 through 200. It's $100 a piece. You can put your family name, your name, business that you own, or somebody that you know owns. If you want to be a part of that show, it's a great way to support all the drivers. $100 per lap. Driver that leads the lap gets all $100.
Can't beat that right there. I just realized something that I didn't do when I programmed the system. I didn't do an end screen, so I guess we're just going to kind of end by saying, hey, guys, I knew I forgot something today. Hey, it was a good time. We had fun. We'll see you guys all later on the next show.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Later, guys.